Hello everyone, I'm your educator Anjali and I'm going to take UPSC Pledge series on geography on Arpita Sharma classes. We are going to cover some important topics in physical geography in 10 classes. You can subscribe to Arpita Sharma classes and to never miss an update from us, please do press the bell icon. You can download the PDF of this lecture from our Telegram channel Simplifying UPSC with Ease. The link of the same is given in the description box below. The topic for today is the major straits that are present, and these are very important in the context of our examination. So let us first see what is a strait. A strait is a narrow strip of water that will connect two large water bodies. Now see, you have one water body here. You have a water body here and you have another water body here, okay, and there is water that is flowing here, okay. This is going to connect, okay. Let us not take it as a round over there. See, there is water here, okay. This is this flowing water here, and this will lead into a bigger ocean, and there is some land over here. You think there is a land over here, okay. This is say land A and this is say land B, but from water from here has to go through this. Okay, this narrow passage of way is known as the strait, okay, and that is named by different names. Let us see all that in today's lecture. I have tried to cover extensively all the straits that are present, so you need not look at any other source for straits. This is a one-stop source for your straits. I hope all of you are doing good. So let us start with the question, okay. I will ask you a question. Which strait is nearest to the international dateline? Whoever knows the answer, please comment down in the comment box. I will tell you the answer in the middle of this lecture. So please stay tuned for this question. Which strait is nearest to the international dateline? So I told you, a strait is a navigable waterway that will connect two large water bodies. Now see, here I told you, this might be one waterway, okay. This is a strait, right? Okay, this part can be navigable. Is it navigable now? A ship can pass through this. What if it is very small? It will not be navigable. Then strait can also be, you cannot navigate through certain straits. Straits can also be non-navigable, okay. If there is a statement all the straits are navigable, it is false, because there are some straits where you cannot navigate. Strait is a naturally formed narrow, typically navigable waterway that will connect two large water bodies. Most commonly, it is a channel of water that will lie between the two land masses. So this is land mass, this is another land mass. Some straits are not navigable, for example, because they are very shallow. Okay, they are too shallow. Example, the Sunda Strait, okay, Sunda Strait that is present in the Indian Ocean region, or because of the unnavigable reef or archipelago, because there will be very small islands that will be present in that strait, so it will not be navigable. Or they'll also be present of coral reefs, because of that also it will not be navigable. And sometimes it is very shallow, that is the ground is too near to the so that you see the ships usually have how much amount of body they have on top. You see on top of water, that much amount of body will be there under the water also, which is not visible to us. So deep waters are usually required for the ships to sail through. So this becomes a few of the disadvantages where a strait cannot be a navigable strait. So let us look into some of the straits that are present, very important for us. Strait of Hormuz, okay, this is one of the very important strait, because this is a strait where 4% of the global oil supplies will pass through, okay. Is it correct? Please comment down in the comment box. I'll tell you if it is correct or not in the next slide. Okay. Strait of Hormuz is present between Gulf of Persia and Gulf of Oman. Or simply I can tell you, this Persian Gulf will open into the open sea. This open sea of Arabian Sea through the Strait of Hormuz. Okay, this is present between the Gulf of Persia and Gulf of Oman, and usually it is asked between which country and which country also it will be present. It is present between Iran and UAE. Okay, because It is a very narrow strip. Okay, this very narrow space is present between UAE and Iran. So this strait is known as the Strait of Hormuz. And I have given you a statement: 4% of global oil supplies, does it pass through this? No, it passes through Bab el Mandeb Strait, that I'll tell you in the future lecture. Hormuz is important because there is Qatar. There is a country called Qatar in the Persian Gulf. Okay, this country is the world's largest liquefied natural gas exporter, that is LNG exporter, and this is going to export most of its LNG through this strait itself. Not most, all of its LNG, you can say, it passes through this strait. Strait of Hormuz is important in the aspect of Qatar because it is world's largest producer of LNG, and it is transporting its LNG through this strait itself. Next, I told you about Bab el Mandeb. It is the strait. It is also strategically very important because there is 4% of the oil supplies, global oil supplies, will pass through this Bab el Mandeb Strait. And this Bab el Mandeb is present between Yemen and Djibouti. Okay, these are the countries it is present between. And which water bodies is it connecting? It is connecting the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. Okay. Next, the Mozambique Channel. Whenever you have to understand this, always have a world map in front of you. There is usually this countries here, Europe and Africa, and here is North America and South America, here is Australia, here is Europe only. Okay, here you find somewhere India, and here is China, etc. When you have this rough world map in front of you, it will become very easy for you to understand what I am explaining. This Mozambique is usually, or it is definitely present. See, here you see India, and India has islands, right? Here somewhere down it is having the Madagascar. Okay, this Madagascar is near to this African continent, and between these two, this thing is present. So now you can understand it clearly, I guess. Now this Madagascar is an island, and this Mozambique Channel is present between the Madagascar island and the Mozambique of Africa. Okay, this Mozambique Channel, is it clear? And Tropic of Cancer, you should know, passes through the Mozambique Channel, which is present between Madagascar and Mozambique. And Park Strait is like our relative because it is ours. We have rights on it. It is Park Strait. It is India Strait. India is having a strait with Sri Lanka, and that strait is known as the Park Strait. It is connecting the Park Bay, because what I told you, a strait has to connect two water bodies. Always the first question is what water bodies is it connecting? The Park Strait is connecting the Park Bay. Okay, Park Bay is present here, and it is connecting it with the Bay of Bengal, that is present this side. This is connecting India and Sri Lanka, as I told you. Next is Strait of Malacca. Strait of Malacca is there in news from a long time because of the China issue that is going on, and very short route. This is the shortest route for India and China, navigable route for India and China. So this is important because most of the exports that will go across from the in the Indian Ocean will go through this Strait of Malacca. And to bypass this strait, and China doesn't want to use this strait now because people are using it, and it wants to create its own route, so it is cutting off this land somewhere here to create a strait for itself. So this is there in news and becomes important for us. And what does this Strait of Malacca connect? It is connecting the Andaman Sea and the South China Sea, and it is all between which countries is it present? It is present between India and Indonesia and Malaysia. You can see here is Malaysia, here is Indonesia. Indonesia is a group of islands. It is Sumatra, Borneo, Java, Papua New Guinea islands. So this is one of the island of Indonesia, that is Sumatran island. It is present between Malaysia and the Sumatran island of Indonesia, that is Strait of Malacca. Next is the Sunda Strait. Here itself, you can see the Sunda Strait here. Sunda Strait is present between Sumatran island and the Javan island of Indonesia. It connects. What does it connect? It will connect the Java Sea with the Indian Ocean. Here it is connecting the Java Sea here with the Indian Ocean, that is present this side. This is Sunda Strait. It is connecting the Java Sea with the Indian Ocean. Strait of Tartary. Tartary, it is going to connect two seas that is present in Japan, that is the Sea of Japan and the Sea of Hotstock. Okay, Sea of Japan and the Hotstock, and here there is one island which is disputed now, that is the Sakhalin Island. So this Strait of Tartary is becoming important for us. Next is the two straits that are present near the Black Sea. Usually the questions on Black Sea, Red Sea, Baltic Sea, Mediterranean Sea, Dead Sea, all these will become very important in the case of examination. So given that, the straits there also become very important. There are two straits here, Strait of Dardanelles and the Bosphorus Strait. What is the Bosphorus Strait connecting? It is connecting the Black Sea with the Sea of Marmara. You can see the Black Sea here and the Sea of Marmara here. This Bosphorus Strait is connecting this, and Bosphorus Strait is present in the region of Istanbul. Okay. And this strait is also called as the Istanbul Strait, and it is the very narrowest, world's narrowest strait. Bosphorus Strait is the world's narrowest strait. It is also known as the Istanbul Strait, and it is navigable. It is narrow, but it is navigable. This is very important regarding Bosphorus Strait. And I wanted to tell you one more thing about the questions that appear in prelims. You can also be given descriptive type of questions, like now they might describe a strait, and given in the options they can ask you which strait are they describing particularly. For example, now in the question they give you, this is one of the world's narrowest navigable strait. It is also known as the Istanbul Strait. It connects the Black Sea and the Sea of Marmara. Which strait is the question talking about? Option A, Bosphorus. Option B, Dardanelles. Option C, Hormuz. Option D, Bering Strait. It is talking about the Bosphorus Strait. The questions also can appear like this. And then the Dardanelles. Dardanelles is going to connect the Sea of Marmara with the Aegean Sea. So this Dardanelles Strait will also become important. Then the Dover Strait. Dover Strait is present between the North Sea and the English Channel. Usually you see in the news somebody has crossed this English Channel, so they are in the news because they swim through the English Channel. So this will become important. Usually people who swim through the English Channel use this strait, the Strait of Dover. So this becomes important. It connects the English Channel with the North Sea, and usually it is present between the two countries, that is England and France. So this also becomes important. What is Bering Strait? And I asked you one question in the beginning of this lecture: which strait is nearest to the international dateline? The international dateline is passing through the Bering Strait. So it is the Bering Strait that is nearest to the international dateline. Okay, this is present between United States and Russia. This is United States of Alaska. Alaska's United State is present here. Okay, Alaska is a state of United States, and here Russia is present. Between these two there is Bering Strait that is present. It is going to connect the Bering Sea with the Chukchi Sea. This question also was there in one of the test series that I had read for the examination. So Bering Sea and the Chukchi Sea is connected by the Bering Strait. It is present between Russia and United States. United States which state? Alaska. Next is the Strait of Gibraltar. Gibraltar Strait is present it is going to connect the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, it is going to connect the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. It is a very important strait because it is going to connect two countries. It is present between the two countries, that is Spain and Morocco. Okay, European place and a African country. So it is going to connect the two continents as well. So this becomes very much strategically important. Next is the Cook Strait. Cook Strait is present between the New Zealand islands, that is the northern and the southern islands of New Zealand. Okay, this is known as the Cook Strait, that is present between the northern and the southern New Zealand islands. What is Bass Strait? Okay, Bass Strait is also important as it is going between the Australia, Tasmania. Okay, it is in Indian Ocean region, Australia and Tasmania. In between that there is a strait known as the Bass Strait. Next is the Denmark Strait. What is a Denmark Strait? Where is it present? Definitely near Denmark. What is other name for Denmark? It is Greenland. Okay, the Denmark Strait is here. It is present between the Iceland and the Greenland. North Atlantic, it is going to connect which water bodies? Whenever you talk about strait, what are the two things? Which countries does it connect? If it is connecting or which countries is it present between. And another aspect is which are the two water bodies it is connecting. So what are the two water bodies connected by Denmark Strait? It is the North Atlantic and the Arctic Ocean. Next is the Davis Strait. Davis Strait is going to connect the Baffin Bay and the Atlantic Ocean. It is present between Greenland and Canada. So it will be present somewhere here. See, this is Canada and this is Greenland. Greenland is also called Denmark. Okay. See, you saw the Denmark Strait before this. And this is present between what and what? Baffin Bay and the Atlantic Ocean. You can see the Atlantic Ocean here and the Baffin Bay here. Next is the Fairwick Strait. It is the New Zealand Strait again, but it is not present between the north and the southern New Zealand. First, here was the northern New Zealand, southern New Zealand, and then there is a Stewart Island. Here is Bass Strait and here is the Fairwick Strait. Okay. This is the Stewart Island. Okay, please remember, this is the Stewart Island and the southern island. Between the southern island and the Stewart Island is the Fairwick Strait, and the northern island of New Zealand and the southern island of New Zealand is a strait known as the Bass Strait. Korean Strait. You know, Korean Strait is definitely between Korea and something else. Korea and what? Korea and Japan. It is going to connect two water bodies, that is the East China Sea and the Sea of Japan. And whenever you come to this region, it is very important to note the islands also that are present in this region, because they are disputed now. And then there is Kerch Strait. Kerch Strait is present between the Black Sea. It is going to connect the Black Sea and the Sea of Azov, and it is present between Russia and Crimea. Okay, Russia and Crimea. So it is also important because Crimea is also there in news for a lot of reasons. So this strait becomes important. It is going to connect which and which? It is going to connect the Sea of Azov and the Black Sea. Which strait? Kerch Strait. Now, now we have seen some important strait and the strategic straits that we have gone through these straits. Now let us if you are asked in match the following type of questions, let us cover other smaller straits as well, or some of them that have appeared in news that I have put there in the slides. First is the Magellan Strait. Magellan Strait is going to join the Pacific Ocean and the South Atlantic Ocean. Where is it located? It is located near Chile. Makassar Strait is going to join the Java Sea and the Celebes Sea. It is located near Indonesia. And Tsungaru Strait, it is going to join the Japan Sea and the Pacific Ocean. It is located near Japan, the Hokkaido Honshu Island. These are also the disputed islands. Okay, you should know Hokkaido and Honshu belong to Japan. Next is the Tatar Strait. Tatar Strait will join the Japan Sea and the Stovok Sea, and it is located near Russia, East Russia and the Sakhalin Islands. I told you the Sakhalin Islands are also disputed. Fairwick Strait. Fairwick Strait is going to join the South Pacific Ocean. Location, it is near the New Zealand. It is near New Zealand. That is near the South Island and the Stewart Island. This is the Fairwick Strait. And then is the Formosa Strait. Formosa Strait is important because it has two names. That it is also called as Taiwan Strait and it is also called as a Black Ditch. So Formosa Strait it is going to join South China Sea and the East China Sea. The location is China, Taiwan. That is, it is present between China and Taiwan. It is connecting what and what? South China Sea and the East China Sea. Yucatan Strait is going to join the seas or water bodies, that is the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean Sea. Where is it located? Near Mexico and Cuba. Next is the Messina Strait. It is joining the Mediterranean Sea. The location is Italy, Sicily. Next is Otranto Strait. It is going to join Adriatic Sea and the Ionian Sea. Location is Italy, Albania. Next is the Hudson Strait. It is going to join the Gulf of Hudson and Atlantic Ocean. It is located near Canada. Torres Strait, or it is also known as Torres Strait. It is going to join Arafura Sea and the Gulf of Papua. It is located near Papua New Guinea, that is Australia. Torres Strait or Torres Strait. Next is Bonifacio Strait. It is going to join the Mediterranean Sea. The location is Corsica, Sardinia. Denmark Strait, you know Denmark, other name is Greenland. It is going to join the North Atlantic Ocean and the Arctic Ocean. The location is Greenland, Iceland. It is going to or it is between what and what? It is between Greenland and Iceland. Next is the Florida Strait. Florida Strait is going to join two water bodies, that is Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic Ocean. The location is USA and Cuba. It is present between USA and Cuba. Then the North Channel, it is going to join the Irish Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. The location is Ireland and England. Next are the Straits of Lombok and Bali Strait. Straits of Lombok. So you can see the Lombok Strait here. You have already seen the Sunda Strait and the Strait of Malacca in the previous lecture. So this Lombok Strait, because this region totally is disputed now. So whatever is the sea or the island or the strait that is present in this region becomes important. So we have taken this smaller strait also, that is the Lombok Strait. It is joining the Java Sea and the Indian Ocean. Which is another one that will join the Java Sea and the Indian Ocean? It is the Sunda Strait. Okay. Location is Indonesia. It is between the Bali Islands and the Lombok Islands. Next is the Bali Strait. Bali Strait is going to join the Bali Sea and the Indian Sea. Location is Indonesia, that is between Bali Island and the Javan Island. Here you can see where is the Bali Strait. It is here. It is going to join the Bali Sea and the Indian Ocean. Next is the Strait of Sicily. West to east, it is joining the west-east Mediterranean Sea. It is present between that. Okay. Mediterranean Sea is a large, bigger sea. Okay, bigger. It is a river. It is a water body which is the size of a sea. Okay. Karimata Strait. Karimata Strait, I think many of you have heard in news recently. It is going to join the South China Sea and the Java Sea. It is present, definitely it is present in the China region, that is in the South China region. Vitia Strait. Vitia Strait is going to connect Bismarck Sea and the Solomon Sea. Next is the Corfu Strait. Corfu Strait connects the Adriatic Sea and the Ionian Sea. Next is the St. George Channel and or it is also called as the Irish Channel. It is connecting the Irish Sea and the Celtic Sea. Next is the Duncan Passage. Duncan Passage connects the Bay of Bengal and the Andaman Sea. What are some of the interesting facts about straits of the world? Now, I have told you it is the narrowest strait, navigable strait, etc. There are some other, you will have doubt which is the largest one, which is the smallest one also. So I have put them here. Which is the longest strait in the world? It is Strait of Malacca. That is why most of the, not only it is largest, but most of the traffic, most of the navigable ships, we go through this waterway. Okay, go through this strait, that is the Strait of Malacca, which is separating the Malay Peninsula from Sumatra island of Indonesia. It is 800 kilometers long. You can see how strategically it is important. Widest strait, this is the longest strait is Malacca. Widest strait is Denmark Strait, that is the Iceland one, which is present between Greenland and Iceland. It is 290 kilometers. Which is the narrowest one? I have already told you, the Bosphorus Strait. At the narrowest tip, it is only 800 meters. That is, it is not even a kilometer, you can see. The shallowest strait in the world is the Sunda Strait. I told you, because it is shallow, it is not navigable. Usually not navigable by the bigger ships. Smaller ships can navigate here. It is at the eastern part at the depth of about 20 meters, making it very difficult for navigation. And there are three important states that you have to remember. That is strait that will separate Asia from America, because it is separating two continents. It is becoming important. Asia and America is the Bering Strait, and or you can take this as Asia, because it is the part of Russia. Okay, you can also call it Europe also. Strait that will separate Australia from Tasmania is the Bass Strait. I told you it is in the Indian Ocean region. Strait that will separate Europe and Africa, that is the Gibraltar Strait. Okay. So thank you. I feel this lecture was important to you, as it is one-stop source for the straits, as I told you. Comment down in the comment box and tell me how you felt about the class. Thank you. Here I would like to add a piece of caution before I end the lecture. There is something known as the isthmus also. Okay, isthmus is a piece of land that is going to connect two large land bodies. Okay, if this is say Africa and this is say Middle East, and there is some land that is going to connect these two, this is known as the isthmus, the small piece of land. Okay, that is known as isthmus. Completely opposite to this, that is connecting two water bodies, the narrowest path is known as the strait. Please don't confuse yourself with